What's good, family? Not coming to take up too much of y'all time, just coming to give a little advice. We all attempt to aid and assist one another and help one another to elevate to the highest form of self. But one of the key ingredients to that is a person taking accountability for their own action, behaviors, and attitudes. It's virtually almost impossible to help someone who's not willing to help themselves. And we deal with this on a day-to-day basis when we attempt to bring advice or ideas to individuals who seem to be spinning their wheels and not going anywhere. And oftentimes this advice is taken as some form of control. Well, the thing is that if you find yourself in an undesirable position, then the only person that truly knows what it is that you desire to have changed is you. So how can I help you if I'm not aware of what it is you need help with? So even if it's in the prison system, which I was talking to or commenting on a post and talking to some people earlier about, we have to, as individuals that are behind the walls, do our part to help those who are out here in these streets fighting for us. We have to do our part to help them. You know, you can't be behind those walls. And trust me, I know how the situation is, and I've spent my fair share of time in there. You can't be in there walking around with whole swords, or swords, however you want to pronounce it. You can't be walking around with whole weapons trying to mutilate and chop up other people and then complaining about your conditions and situations. You can't be venomous and show hatred towards those that are out here on the outside having to struggle and deal with whatever they've been left behind to deal with on their own because of decisions that you made. And I'm not saying everybody that's incarcerated is there justly or that everybody deserves to be there. However, I am saying that if we are going to help you, your ABA has to be in line with the things that will get you the recognition of being a person and not an inmate or a convict or things of that nature. Yes, you committed a crime, or maybe you didn't, but yes, you are incarcerated, and America has this idea about people that are incarcerated, and it doesn't help the fight for your humanity or to prove that you are a human being still and that you deserve help if you burned every bridge you've ever crossed and continue to do so by trying to hold on to standards and ideologies that come along with that prison mentality. See, I've spent time in there, and I know that everybody doesn't take the same process or the same route or deal with their time the same way. Some people attempt to fit into cliques, crews, and things of that nature. Some people try to hold on to old street beefs and politics and stuff like that when they come in. Some people choose to become Bible thumpers. Whatever the choice is, choices are being made behind the walls every day to dictate how your time spent incarcerated. You can spend time trying to elevate yourself so that when you come back to the world, you have the best chance possible for success, knowing that the odds are mounting against you based on your experience. Or you can spend time trying to lift weight and look good and contribute to the vanity of the situation. I'm going to come home chopped up and do my time and be a solid individual and whatever else the case may be. This is not only unfair to you, but it is unfair to those who are out here fighting for you. So when you're inside of these institutions and you're trying to prove the harsh conditions and things of that nature, we have to show the poor living conditions. We have to show the lack of medical attention. We have to show the understaffing. We have to show all of these things. Now, you brothers in there deciding that y'all still want to carry on with this foolishness and these street beefs and all of that stuff in there, there's nothing too much that can be done. By now, you should realize that you're in an oppressive situation and that the only way to come out of it on top is to band together and put all the foolishness aside. Help us to help you. And also something else. We as individuals, and I'm sure everybody out here in the streets has realized the conditions and the things that our young people are out here dealing with in these neighborhoods and in these streets and in these housing projects and whatever else. There was a time when we were growing up that the grown people were who were on the streets. The church folks was who were on the streets. You had the elderly sitting outside on their porch enjoying the sun of the day, enjoying the breeze. We left the streets and left our babies out there. See, we need to get back out in these streets, not to do what it was we were doing before, you know, from selling dope to engage in all other immoral behaviors. We have to get back in these streets to protect our children. We have to get back in these streets because the things that they do, we weren't doing because old people and the elders were out there too. See, we left the streets alone and went into our houses and closed the blinds, and it was like a free fall. Now the kids can do what they want to do because nobody's watching anymore. Everybody who was an adult was considered a parent, considered an elder. Their word was respected because we knew if I disrupted something in front of Miss Emma, she was going to call my parents. She could whip my behind, and then she could send me home to my parents who were going to whip my behind. Now there is nobody out there. And the so-called adults who are out there are trying to maintain and hold on to their youth so bad, they refuse to give any good advice because they don't want to be looked at in a funny manner. Or they're afraid because, hey, these youngsters out here are wild and radical. How have we become afraid of our own children? It's just something to think about, man, that we have to get back out here. And I understand when we say leave the streets, we mean leave the negativity alone. Leave the killing of one another alone. Leave the drug selling alone. Leave the things alone that would lead us to incarceration or early grave. But don't turn our backs completely on what's going on, because even though we're not out there, the things that are happening still affect us. This is why the Peace March and the Peace Walk was orchestrated. That's why it's called Communities in Unity and the Big We, because we understand that we can only do this together, that it's going to take all of us. It's going to take the church folks. It's going to take the ex-gang members. It's going to take community leaders, church pastors and things like that holding public events to get back to the unity in our communities. We have to have a community function every day, then so be it. Every weekend, so be it. But we just need to know that, hey, we a family. You don't have to like everybody in your family, but your family. Nobody's asking you to become friends and call people every day and do these things and act like there can't be conflict, because it's natural. Conflict is a natural part of life, but conflict resolution is where it comes in, the importance comes in. I don't have to kill you because I disagree with you. I don't have to not support a positive move because I don't like you. We have so many people out there that will not contribute because they don't like the person that organized something. Are you really willing to allow the streets and the environment that your children grow up in to remain dangerous and poison because you don't like the individual that's organizing the cleanup? Now, I'm not going to say anything bad about you or anything of that nature, but I really want you to look in on yourself and ask yourself, what type of person am I really if I allow this to go on because I don't like brother so-and-so or sister so-and-so said this about me last week? We grown, man. We got to get back to the basics. We got to learn to love life and fear hell. And I ain't even going to say fear hell, but just respect the fact that I don't want to put anything out in this world that I don't want introduced into my world. But anyway, like I said, I wasn't going to hold y'all long, man. I'm just asking everybody do your share. If everybody does a little, nobody has to do a lot. Treat people how you want to be treated. Stand for something greater than yourself. It's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. Gain a true understanding of what's going on around you. Awareness equals preparedness. If one of us is up, then we all up. If one of us is down, then we all are down. The same foot that's on my back is on your neck. The same foot that's on my neck is on your back. We don't have to look outside of self for equality. As long as you believe that you're inferior, then that's where you will be. As long as you keep on lifting people above you, then you'll always be beneath. You have to understand your self-worth. It's not what other people think about you. It's what you think about yourself. What do you feel you deserve? What do you feel your babies deserve? Do your babies deserve to have to walk through a war zone to go to school? Do your nieces and nephews, if you don't have children, deserve to walk through a war zone to go to school? Should they be afraid to go to a grocery store? Should they have to really spend that much time considering what color they put on? Come on, y'all. We got to take control. We have to take control. We are not marching for something or for something from somebody else. We're doing it to show our unity and to show our love for our babies. The big we. And this is not a racially motivated move. This is about the people. This is about the community. This is about the nation. It's time for healing. And if each and every person turns this healing inward first, then the reflection of the work being done will come outward. Because I can understand that, hey, maybe this brother is having a bad day. So instead of me jumping to judgment and conclusion and feeling like he needs to lose his life, let me ask him what's going on. This brother looks angry, so I'm afraid of him. No, how about I see if I can help him get through this? How about I show him that, hey, I understand, bro. I went through a similar situation. Maybe this can help. Let me offer you some advice. It's so many things that we can choose to do different that could help. Like I said, just focusing on self and making sure, hey, I'm right within me. And I understand that everybody only displays their own level of understanding. And nobody has to share the same understanding that I have. Because who am I that my vision is bigger than your vision? But anyway, y'all, it's love. And I hope that everybody truly understands that together, nothing is impossible for us. When I look at a mountain, it's impossible for me to move. But if I have unity and my brothers and sisters with me, each of us can pick up a pebble and that mountain is gone. Same with the elephant in the room. It may be impossible for one of us to eat, but if all of us take a bite, it'll soon be done. So, wishing all of y'all peace and positive productivity for the day and love.